We're gonna revisit an old video today, guys. I did a jalapeno popper video a couple years back. It was super spicy and people were kind of complaining about it a little bit. So I've altered my recipe, I've toned it down a bit. We're gonna redo it and I'm gonna show you my new recipe for jalapeno poppers coming up right now. Welcome back, everybody. If this is your first time here, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll consider subscribing and hitting the bell for alerts and notifications when I release new content. The YouTube algorithm changes constantly, and a lot of my viewers and current subscribers don't get notified when I put out new content. So please make sure you hit the subscribe button and you hit the little bell down there to make sure you get notifications. So we're gonna revisit this jalapeno popper recipe. I've toned this down a bit, and keep in mind that with anything that I do or anything that you try to do at home that I'm doing on film, feel free to adjust the recipe for more or less, or maybe replacing one ingredient with another. The beauty of cooking, the joy of cooking, is to make things how you like to make them. So I encourage you to not have to stick to everything I do to a T. Make some adjustments, make it yours. I think you're gonna like this, but maybe you won't. So make sure you pay attention, sub things, add, delete, whatever you want. So real quick, I'm gonna go over the ingredients that you're gonna need for this, and I'll mention the amounts as I add them and prep these peppers. So here I have some shredded cheddar cheese, garlic powder, chili powder, cumin, cayenne pepper, cracked black pepper. Obviously we have our jalapenos here. I've got 9 fairly large jalapenos. Little note on the jalapenos, as you might all know if you've eaten them before, some of them are hotter than others. You know, you can go to the store and buy jalapenos and sometimes they're just super hot, sometimes they're very mild. So keep that in mind when you're cooking these, because they're not gonna turn out the same every single time. They're gonna be hotter sometimes than others, even if you use the same ingredients. So just keep that in mind. You're also going to need some cream cheese. I have some Philadelphia cream cheese here. This is softened, and you can either let this sit out on the counter for about an hour, or you can just microwave it for about 40 to 45 seconds, and that'll get it the perfect consistency for you to make this mixture. Last but not least, you're going to need some bacon. I have here some thick cut bacon. You can go with thin, you can go with thick. I find the thick holds up a little bit better. Sometimes it won't come out as crispy, but there's things you can do to adjust for that. Again, the bacon is also preference. Some people like it floppy, some like it crispy. We like ours kind of in the middle. One more ingredient that you're gonna need is whatever your favorite barbecue rub is. I've got a lot of barbecue rubs here. This is one that I've really grown to like, this Saucy Bottom BBQ rub. This is actually a viewer of mine that owns that company. He makes burger seasoning, he makes barbecue rub, he makes barbecue sauce. I really love his products. It's just a small little company. I don't even think he does online ordering, but he's got some very unique flavor in his products, and we really love them here at the house. I will put a link down in the description to his website if you guys want to check him out. But we're going to add a little bit of that to the cream cheese to give it that barbecue flavor, and we're also going to sprinkle some on the outside once we get these wrapped. So now that you know everything that's going into this, let's get started putting this together. I also cut these a little differently now too, so pay attention. Okay, I microwaved this cream cheese for about 45 seconds. Every microwave is different. You want this type of consistency where you can move it around, so whatever works for your microwave. Now let's get our ingredients in. I have here a little more than a teaspoon of garlic powder. I absolutely love garlic powder. We have about 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon cumin, about 3/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and you can omit this if you're concerned about heat. Just don't put the cayenne in. You're still going to get a lot of flavor, and you're going to get some heat from those jalapenos anyway. Now a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. And I like to add some shredded cheddar to this just for volume. I really like to make this mixture nice and thick and rich, and this really helps out with it. Now we just have to give this a good mix. And there's what we're left with. Now this is when you're going to go ahead and add your barbecue rub. The reason why I wait is because I just want to get the right color. So now that everything else is mixed in, I'm going to say that's about 1.5 teaspoons. Now right about now is the time you want to take a quick taste. Perfect. A little bit of heat, A little bit of salt content from the rub, that barbecue flavor from the rub, tasting the garlic, tasting everything. This is going to go perfect in those peppers. Okay, on to cutting the peppers. So I have changed the way I cut these. I used to cut the stems off and cut them straight in half. I don't do that anymore. I saw a video a few months back, I think it was from T-Roy at T-Roy Cooks, and he uses what I call the bolt method. I think he may have called it that too. I don't want to plagiarize him or take his copyright away, but this is a very simple method. It's cleaner, it's faster, and it makes for a much better presentation. So what I pretty much do is I'll start here on the popper. We're going to slice down till we get close to the stem. Then I'll come straight down. We'll remove that top. And if you guys remember Chef Carl, who's been on my channel a few times, he introduced me to this, what he calls a tomato shark. And I've found it really good to get the tomato stems out, but this is also excellent for these peppers. So I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do. Have a bowl ready for waste. And just grab your pepper, put it over your bowl, and this pulls those guts right out, seeds and all. It's absolutely perfect. Same thing with the pepper. Just go in, twist a little, and you can pull this all right out. Now if you're real worried about the seeds, you can rinse those out. I'm not. I like some of the seeds. They provide a little bit more heat, but feel free to do it how you like it. So boom, there's one. By the way, I did rinse these all off before I did anything. Make sure you have the peppers clean and have a glove on your pepper hand, guys, especially you. All right, so we're gonna finish this one up and then I'll do the rest off camera. Next move is to stuff this with some cream cheese, just like so. Now we have a perfect match here. Going to grab our slice of bacon, gently roll it around the pepper. And one more thing, if I didn't mention, you're going to need some toothpicks. So just run this through the bottom portion till it pops through. And there you go, there's one. I'm gonna do the rest of these off camera, then we're gonna dust these with some of that barbecue rub, and we're gonna get them out on the smoker. And through the miracle of time, sorry, shouldn't have done that. These are ready to go. All we're gonna do now is sprinkle these with a little bit of this barbecue rub. And this is more for flavor, maybe a little bit for color. I don't go around the whole pepper because I'm really trying to let that bacon shine as it crisps up. But I do want to get a little bit more barbecue flavor on this outside. If you want to roll them around and season the whole thing, go ahead, no big deal. So it's time to get these out to the smoker. Quick side note, that cream cheese mixture, we had a little bit left over from when I made these, and my wife and I dipped some pretzels in it. I'm just saying. All right, I'm outside at the Camp Chef pellet smoker. This is the Smoke Pro SG, just in case anybody's wondering. And I'm running this on high smoke. We're gonna cook these on high smoke for about maybe 45 minutes. Then I'll crank it up a little at the end, maybe to 275 or 300 to crisp that bacon for however long it takes, usually about 15 minutes. Once we're done, we're gonna pull these, let them rest, and kind of let that bacon firm up, and then these are gonna be ready to serve. So one more trick I wanna show you with these. Now pretty much every pellet smoker I've ever seen has a top shelf. Whatever you put on that top shelf always comes out money. The bottom shelf does a great job too, the whole grill does, but if you put things on that top shelf, you're gonna get more smoke flavor and a little bit more heat, which is gonna help crisp up this bacon. So we're gonna put these on that top shelf. All right, we are officially cooking these, so now it's time to just leave this lid closed, keep it closed, and don't peek for at least a half an hour. Depending on your cooking temperature, I would say a minimum of a half an hour before you even check them. Once you get that bacon close to where you want it, it's time to crank up the temperature a little bit and finish them off. So till then, we're just gonna let these cook. I'll see you guys in a little bit. It's been about 40 minutes and I apologize for the lighting. The sun is just at that right spot in the day where it's kind of tough to see. But it's been about 40 minutes now and here's how they're looking. They're starting to get close to where I want them. We're gonna give this another 10 minutes and then we're gonna crank it up for a few more minutes. We'll pull them, we'll rest them, and we'll eat them. I did what I said. I gave it another 10 minutes, cranked it up to 275, gave it another 10 minutes, and this bacon's right where we want it. Some people may want it crispier or even less crispy than this, so use your own judgment on that, but this is perfect for us. You can see the bacon has color, and once we pull these off and let them rest for a minute, that bacon's gonna firm up. So next thing is to get these off. Okay, we're back inside. I let these rest for just a few minutes. I just kind of wanted to let them dry on the outside a little bit. It helps to crisp up the bacon even a little bit more. And most importantly, so this isn't like a steak where you let it rest to let the juices re-permeate. The filling is nuclear hot. Like if you take one of these out of the grill and just bite it right away, you're gonna be running for some water. So you wanna let these rest just to cool off and kind of make them tolerable. But it's time to go ahead and cut one of these open and take a bite. Usually I'll just grab one, pull the toothpick, take a bite, that's how we eat it. But for filming purposes, I'm gonna pick one of these and just cut it open for you now. All right, here we go. We'll just make a nice gentle cut to keep it together. Take a look. Take a look at that. Now we got a nice crisp on the outside of the bacon. It's perfect for my preference. Some people may want that even crispier, so if that's the case, just crank up the grill, let it go a little bit longer. But for me, this is really perfect. So now that I know it's safe temperature-wise, I'm gonna go ahead and take a bite. Cheers, everybody. It's delicious every time, what can I say? I'll be back in a minute. So that recipe is perfected for the way we like it here at home. Again, feel free to change, add, subtract, do whatever you want, but we like it this way. There's that perfect amount of heat, but the inside filling has got some real nice creaminess, and you can taste every bit of those ingredients that we put in there. I mean, the garlic is the most predominant because I've used more garlic, but every little bit of that stuff comes together and just makes this glorious, glorious filling. So anyway, I can't really describe it to you good enough. You need to give this recipe a try, and I hope you do. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for being with me today and hanging out, and I will see you on the next episode.